In this video tutorial on starting a home-based business or micro business, securing micro jobs on Fiverr, we're going to briefly review, and we're just going to look over customer reviews and really how to encourage positive feedback. Now, what we're going to do, we have this start selling, but we've sold before, and we're going to save this for a new profile that we're going to set up in front of you. Nevertheless, we're going to go to payments. With that, we are going to go to manage sales. And if you remember from a previous video tutorial, these are completed orders, so we'll go to completed orders. So we've spent a lot of time so far talking about feedback, but feedback is just critical to you being successful here on Fiverr. How to We've talked about customers being confused, but there's also the flip side with, and as you told, we had like three negative feedbacks. One of them was legitimate. It was just a slip on our part on keyword use, but we did go back and fix that, and we resent the article to the person. So with that said, let's look at positive feedback first, because we're going to really spend some time on this in this video tutorial. So once the order is delivered, and you'll see how that's done once we get into this. But in the meantime, what we want to let you know is that there are two things. First, most customers will just mark your order complete, and a few will actually give you positive or negative feedback. Feedback is a lifeline of your business. People with feedback of below 90% not only don't get to serve, or sellers, which you are going to be, not only do they not get many customers, but they also don't get the chance to offer gig extras. And gig extras is where the money is, folks. Plodding along $5 at a time is really you're going to be excited when you make your first 10 sales or so, but after that you're going to realize that $5 at a time is a hard way to make a part-time income, especially for your expertise. So that's when you get to do gig extra. So once the order is and these are buyer instructions, which are automatically emailed to customers. We'll show you how to set that up when we teach you how to set your gig up. Nevertheless, the first thing you need to do to get positive feedback is you need to, and we'll just, for instance, we write blog posts. Yours may be different. You need to understand what the customer wants, who they are, and it shouldn't take any more than 10 minutes to figure this out. But this particular customer wanted a blog post on African American art. So we asked them to send the URL to us. So we went to their website, and what we noticed is that we looked at the quality of their writing. Wow, they've updated their site since we last wrote. That's okay. So just kind of got a feel for what they were looking for, and that sort of thing. So knowing your customer is the first thing to give to understanding their needs, what they expect delivered, and those things really will make the difference between you receiving positive and negative feedback. For instance, there was a time when a customer wanted us to write a press release as opposed to a blog post. Well, they responded to the buyer instructions as if it was a blog post, but when we were reading their response to what we required, we realized that they wanted a press release, and then we communicated with them and we got the order right. So with that said, those are the small things that will make the difference between positive and negative feedback. Now, there are two sorts of positive and negative feedback. There's how the customer rates you, and then how you rate the customer. We strongly we strongly encourage you to stay away from, no matter how bad a buyer is, we strongly encourage you to stay away from giving them negative feedback. Even the couple of people who are way wrong on their feedback of us, we gave them positive feedback, and we encouraged them on a few things. So we'll take you, and we'll try to, if memory serves us correct, We will try to remember who that was exactly. So now, with this, let's go to this one first. And sometimes, folks, you're going to have to be really confrontational with these people that give you negative feedback. Not again, not because you're offended, but because you know you did exactly what you were asked to do. If you make a mistake, accept the positive feedback or negative feedback. Give the customer positive feedback, and just exchange some emails. So, not to try to get their business back, because truthfully, one of these people tried to order from us again. It gave us negative feedback. We canceled their order. We're not interested in doing business with them again. That's just reputation, online brand reputation protection. Now, with that said, we showed you this earlier, and this person was totally confused about even their own business. Which let us know that they were new. But in the meantime, what happened was uh, they gave us negative feedback here, right? They marked the order complete but gave us negative feedback. So they took our blog post, they gave us negative feedback because they were confused. So we gave them positive feedback, and this said, this is what you told me to write about. White based web development, which is an affiliate reseller program. Further, I tell you, I will write you a I will write until you are satisfied, folks. If you go for blog posts, or no matter what your gig is, uh, always once you deliver the order, and we're going to show you how to do that. Always encourage them to talk to you before they give you feedback. Let them know you will do whatever you need to do until they are satisfied. It's only $5, but again, you want to get to a place where people trust you enough to order gig extras. I mean, we've had people put in $30 orders with us. So you want to build that. And the way you build that is let them know you're committed to them. So although they were confused, they said something really terrible about us. And this is when we decided to pretty much leave Fiverr and start this video tutorial series, because it was a great time, not only to prove that our processes were solid, but also to use this as an example. So all we want you to do is read this. We won't read this to you, but we responded aggressively, but gave them positive feedback. Why is that important? Well, we'll show you. We'll show you why that is important, and certainly, once you start to set up gigs, you will understand why it is so critical. So, with that said, let's go ahead and go to. Let's go to this guy right here. He's a top rated seller, 99%. And even with this, we've watched this guy for months, and somebody gave him a negative gig rating, which is totally ridiculous. But he's a top rated seller anyway. So, and we talked to you about gig extras, and that's where the real money is. And he has two negative reviews, which is just totally ridiculous. So once once customers give you positive feedback, uh, you can either respond to them and say, "Hey, thanks for the positive feedback," or what you can do is just not say anything at all. Now, here we are. Success Systems, superb job. We will be using you again and again. Thank you. Okay. Now, the seller responded here with positive feedback for his customers. Thanks for your support. The press team also says thanks. So they responded with positive feedback from this guy. Uh, Now, this is certainly a reality here. Canceled order, seller failed to deliver on time. This guy's pretty busy, and as you can see, obviously he deserved this negative feedback because he didn't respond. Because sellers, as you become a seller, you will know whether what a customer says is true or not. And we encourage you, just for your own brand building on Fiverr and running your part-time business, to never respond negatively to them. Yes, we want you, and we'll go ahead and click more to see if we can find another negative feedback. We won't spend that much time on it, but you don't want to be seen in this market, because every person that gives you feedback and who you respond to will be seen in this marketplace, and you do not want to be seen as somebody who attacks buyers. Don't do it. Here it is. Second negative feedback order. They failed to deliver on time. and that's fine. So this is what you will notice also when dealing with feedback. Okay, he got negative feedback. Nevertheless, one, two, three, four, five, and they go on up. So at the end of the day, if you do a great job, those negative feedbacks will be on there. But at the end of the day, you want to respond to those people who you don't deserve it from. So this guy failed to deliver on time. He deserved it. He knows it. He didn't respond. So let's go on back. So that is why it is critically important for you to respond always in a positive manner, but it also has to be corrective. We're going to find another negative feedback. We're spending so much time on negative feedback because feedback is the lifeline, folks, of your business. We don't mean to get too excitable about this, but we can never say enough about what this is. Now, positive feedback again is going to come. It's the negative feedback they have to manage. In an earlier video tutorial, we told you people will mark it complete, but what you will see, let's go ahead and go down here. Thumbs up, order completed. You will see that this person didn't give us feedback, but we gave them positive feedback as a buyer. Why would you give a buyer positive feedback? A, to build community, but to B, to let other sellers know that this person is, maybe worth doing business for. Okay, here's another one. Now, this was a very intense one, and we really had to get aggressive with this. Now, the story with this seller is, and we're telling you this because we guarantee once you become successful on Fiverr, you're going to face these sorts of buyers. Most buyers are great, but a few are just, whatever. So, what we said, this is what this guy asked us to write. Now, we used all of their keywords, and actually, one of their blog posts is on page one in a couple of these keywords, so we did our job. But this is what this guy said. I know it is only $5, but the article you sent me was not SEO friendly and did not have density in three keywords I provided. I'll stop there. As a SEO expert, I know that the only types of people that will make this comment are people who use what are called SEO plugins. SEO plugins, folks, if you use them, we challenge you to show us results that they are effective. They are not effective. You will not get page one rankings. And we knew that manual SEO is better, but at the end of the day, this guy was confused. His article was on page one, like we said it would be in his keyword market, and he was measuring our work, which he asked for, obviously didn't understand, against a tool that didn't work. So this is how we responded, and this is what you want to do. Just because somebody hits you negative feedback, we want you to turn the other cheek because you don't want to be seen as attacking. So what we did here is we gave them positive feedback, but we got an opportunity to speak to buyers. And what we said was this is an example of what happens when taking that SEO plugin says is gospel. Whether using me or another, please understand SEO plugins do not and will not produce what they claim. James, I write content for Remax, which is in his industry, so trust me, my content is solid. Let it do its work. Post it. He posted it, and it ended up on page one. Did he come back and tell Fiverr that he was wrong? Absolutely not. So we had to live with this negative feedback, which was just it was really frustrating for us. But understand, this is going to be seen in the marketplace. Now, we want to say this before we end. Even this was seen as some slight attack on sellers, and order slowed down for a couple of days, but they built right back up. So what we did is we confronted the seller. We told them nicely they didn't know what they were talking about, and we spoke to other sellers. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to attack, but you do want to educate both the buyer and people who will buy from you. So with that said, folks, that ends this video tutorial. And we just want you to fight for your business, but don't go overboard and be seen as defensive or some sort of disgruntled seller because somebody gave you negative feedback. And always be honest. If you deserve it, you deserve it. So with that said, what we're going to do in the next section is do a home page review so you can begin to understand what top sellers is and categories. So folks, stay with us.